All right, I've been really excited about this one. We've got this bunker made. I saw this come out, said I have to get this. Let's talk about it. Is it good? Is it going to be helpful for your game? Something you should add to your simulator room. What's going on, everybody? Scott Hogan coming at you. We're here. We're in the studio doing a little bit of work. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hopefully you're having a good holiday weekend, enjoying time with your families. We're going to be getting all that stuff fired up, smoking up the turkey and all that. So this is going to be our last video before we get into the Black Fridays and the Cyber Mondays. So make sure you check out, I'm going to have links down below. Also, if you have me on Instagram, The Real SHG, you will see I will be posting stuff as I see it. For example, we talked about the perfect practice mat with the putting. Well, we have the new perfect practice mat that they just came out with. Have one coming, but it's just a portable rollout mat. Looks really cool. Plus, they have a really good deal on it. So I'll link that down below as well. And again, you'll see it on Instagram, and I'll try to do a full review of it next week, but really cool. So let's start talking about this item, though, from Y Golf, and this is the Bunker Mate, okay? And so, as you can see, we've got a mat that is supposed to simulate hitting out of a bunker. All right, so let's talk about the design of the mat first, okay? So what is it? It's really a mat that, you know, it's got some fluffy kind of carpeting stuff on the top side. The bottom side, you've got kind of a rubbery surface here that you're gonna obviously set it down on the ground. And, you know, really that's kind of it. It's a pretty simple idea and design. The fluffiness of the carpet really matters here because that's going to determine a lot of things that we can do. Now, the mat is very lightweight. That was something I was actually at first worried about because I was like, oh, this thing's going to move around a lot and all that stuff. Now, it does slide slightly when you hit one, but also if you're going to use it, you might not use it a bunch in a row. If you're using it during a round or something, you're going to hit a shot and then hopefully not have to hit it again. And then the other thing it does is it does give you feedback. This mat, if you're hitting a correct bunker shot, should slide. So you have that as you're going through. So actually, I do like the design of it there. The other thing is when you're setting it down, you get with the mat, you're going to get a couple of foam golf balls. You also do get a nice little instruction sheet that I do like. The tips that are on there, they're not bad as far as, hey, this is what you should be able to do, or this is what you should be doing. So I like those tips. If you've never kind of had any instruction on how to hit a bunker shot, those work well. So it's a good little simple device and something that I think I'm excited about seeing how it does. But obviously it has to perform and be able to do what we need it to do. So what am I looking for when I get a device like this? Well, first things first is it has to teach me something, right? Or if I'm going to use it, I have to be able to show it to a student and be able to illustrate the idea of how to hit a bunker shot. And it has to let me hit bunker shots the way I like to hit them. So the way I like to hit bunker shots is I like to get my weight forward, I like to move my chest through the target, and I like to make sure I'm slapping the sand. The idea in the bunker is that you're really kind of trying to slide under the ball, project sand, and that's what's going to make the ball move. You have a little bit of ball contact, but it's not much at all. So does this let you do that? Absolutely. I actually like it a lot because, you know, if you just have it normal mode, right? Hey, I'm just going to put it on here. I'm not going to try to bury it or anything. You have the ball sitting up. You kind of really get that visual of, hey, this is how a bunker shot works. When you're in the sand, I think that sometimes can be a little bit hard to illustrate because, you know, people can't visualize, hey, I'm going to be going under, and that's what's going to make this work. Here, you actually can really see that, hey, I'm going to be able to slide underneath the ball and be able to get this to work. So I really like that from a teaching standpoint. It lets me hit my technique. It let me do it how I would like to do it. That's also really good. So, hey, A+ for that design. Now, the other thing is, does it work when I want to play, let's say, sim golf? Answer is yes. With my Mevo Plus, setting it up, it does work, and it seemed to work really well. I was able to hit some greenside bunker shots. The one thing I was also looking at when I was hitting a few shots is, all right, hey, I'm going to hit these, and is it going to, you know, have the same speed? Is it the ball going to come out the same way I think it would out of a bunker? At first, before I fired up the sim, I kind of thought, not really, because you're not getting the resistance of the sand. I'm like, no, there's no way. But then I actually hit some shots in just practice mode on the simulator, and you know what? It actually worked way better than I thought it would. I was hitting these 12-yard bunker shots, or and they were coming out, and it's like, all right, how much would I think to play this? And they were coming out pretty much at that level. The other thing I tried it out was, hey, let's go into a fairway bunker. Let's go ahead and let's try to get a fairway bunker shot and see what it does. It actually comes out a lot slower. I don't hit it as far, which that's what happens when I play in a real round. I'm going to have to take more club as I go. Now, one thing people will notice as you use this is you can see it sits up, right? So we've got this thing sitting up. What that's going to make you do is when you take your setup, your feet are actually going to be below the mat. Okay, so the ball is going to be sitting up higher. Now, I think some people might think that's a bad thing. At first, I was like, yeah, that might be interesting. But when you think about it, when you get into a bunker, you typically are digging in your feet a little bit. So I noticed this a lot when I was doing the fairway bunker shot. When I'm hitting a fairway bunker shot, I always choke up on the club. I had to do that here because that's what I do in a bunker, right? Because I'm sitting below the surface of the sand. So that's stuff that I think you're going to get a lot out. I'm actually getting a lot more out of it than I thought I would from the start, where it's like, all right, hey, if you're going to hit this shot, you got to choke up in a bunker. You got to make sure you're making good ball first contact. All those things. It's giving me an idea. When I'm in a fairway bunker, you have to take more club. It makes it a lot more thinking, a lot more stuff that you're going to have to think about when you're out there on the golf course. Okay? So you can also bury it. You can also get the ball to sit down a little bit. Now, the one thing I'll say, not every training aid's perfect. Where would this kind of fall short? And it's not going to be much, and it's obviously I think it's going to be kind of an obvious thing. The thing that's going to happen is when you bury the ball, that ball still comes out pretty fast. And the reason for that is you're not going to get the resistance of sand, right? You're not getting the resistance of sand. And I think that's going to be the thing that you really, hey, we've always talked about you can't really practice bunkers inside. Well, now you're getting close to where you're doing it pretty much how you should be doing it. You're getting the idea of how fast the ball's coming off. The one thing you're still going to have to get used to is, what does your sand feel like, right? Like, hey, I've got more, coarse sand. I've got a lot of sand. I've got thinner sand. I've got beach sand. You're still going to have to get a feel for that and what you're going to do. But as far as working on your technique, working on the idea of what a bunker shot and starting to bridge, hey, when I'm in a bunker, the ball gets affected in these ways, this actually exceeded my expectations on how that worked. I'm really happy with it, and you're going to be seeing me use this in the Sunday rounds. If I'm in a bunker, you're going to be seeing me pull this out, and we're going to be working on hitting shots just like it would from those situations. So really, really cool device, really awesome. Again, I bought this on my own and then reached out to them, said this is awesome. So what they wanted to do is offer a discount to anybody on the channel that does actually want to get one. I will link that down below. I would highly recommend it. It's a great addition to your kit and to your simulator room. Really going to help you out as you go through. So if you have questions about it, please comment it down below. As always, thank you for tuning in. Click that subscribe button if you are not a subscriber already. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you, everybody, for all the support this year. Have a great holiday, and we will see you next time. Peace.